And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed, Hinder's Doors, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella 2 Wishes Come True. It's this. It is based on Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True. Once upon two times, Cinderella and Prince Singling were happily married. 6 months later, they are pregnant, but Cinderella is sick, so the baby might die. Cinderella's fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. She chants the magic words, Winnerly, Wannerly, One, and waves her magic wand, and the baby is cured. And the baby is a boy named Oliver. Olive, Nina, and Esme have a few tricks up their sleeves, though. They are complaining about not marrying Prince Singling. Another 6 months later, Oliver is almost 6 months old. And he can't wait to have his royal birthday party, and it's tomorrow. The next day is Oliver's royal birthday party. Cinderella asks, what about our gift, father-in-law? Oliver has now a magical necklace previously owned by the King of Onlyville when he was a baby. He needs to make a wish, rub the jewel on it, and the wish will come true. The King of Onlyville's imaginary wakes him up now. Sees that Olive, Nina, and Esme are breaking into the party. He says, oh no, they're trouble! Oh, big trouble! He then goes over to the king and tells him, Your Majesty, your son and daughter-in-law are in trouble. The King of Onlyville gets so infuriated he yells, sound the alarm! The King of Onlyville blows a trumpet that the king's guards hear an attack. Olive, Nina, and Esme attempt to escape. Oliver said, and I wish Olive, Nina, and Esme are trapped, rubs the jewel on it. Olive, Nina, and Esme are now trapped in the castle's dungeon. And so, the birthday party is saved. And he, alongside his parents, lives happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi all together. One day, the king of Sevenville's messengers said, Hear ye, the king of Sevenville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Septupling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi argue over who will marry Prince Septupling later. Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, I have lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. So she waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 7 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 7 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 14 strong horses. And then Cinderella's wear clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a septuple-tastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers, Cinderella's fairy godmother said. Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everyone will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Septupling said, who should marry me? Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi say all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Septupling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's all midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Septupling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So she traveled around Sevenville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi lived. But instead of Cinderella, Prince Septupling finds her 5 ugly, mean stepsisters. He then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper one by one? Sophia first, but her foot is too big. The rest is the same, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Septupling notices Cinderella's sweet slimmy. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella and Prince Septupling now live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Andrew's Doers, and this is the 2835th episode of Andrew Does Everything. Hang on. And now I've been debating on making the Cinderella sequels. I could do that. So, if you want to see Cinderella 2 7 Dreams Come True, maybe I can do it a 7-episode tradition. And all of you, I hope you enjoyed this parody fairy tale about rags to riches. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And, oh, look at the time. And well, Andrew's Doers, if we time this video just right, and And a few minutes later, wait for it. And if we can time this video just right, maybe I could still do it a 7-episode tradition, by the way. And then this video is 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And take care, Andrews Doers. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. And now, Andrew Knows Everything, Andrews Doers proudly presents Cinderella 2, 7 Wishes Come True. Sequel to the original Cinderella, and based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon 2 times, Cinderella and Prince September were happily married. But Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. Several weeks later, Cinderella and Prince September succeed in getting pregnant, but Cinderella is sick. Her fairy godmother knows a spell that can cure her. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand, and because of that, the baby is cured. And the baby is a girl named Septima. A week later, when Prince September and Cinderella were sleeping one night, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi steal September and take her to the 7 Sahara Desert. The king of Sevilleville's messenger saw it and said, "Oh no, she's in trouble. Oh, big trouble." He then goes over to the king of Sevilleville and tells him about his granddaughter being captured. He gets so angry that he yells, "Sound the alarm!" That his messenger blows a trumpet alarm. That his guards hear it in order to find Septima. Meanwhile, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made it to the desert, but their plan is interrupted when Naomi, the youngest stepsister, trips on a magic lamp. "Are you okay, Naomi?" asks Sophia. Naomi responds, "I'm fine." They then find the magic lamp, which Septima steals, and her foster parents, Simba and Sion, find her. Simba asks, "What are you doing in the middle of nowhere, little lady?" Sion responds, "I don't know, Pookie Muffin. Let's take her home." Simba and Sion then find her the magic lamp that Septima was holding and say, "She's holding a magic lamp." Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi don't give up though. They say, "Come back with our step-niece all together." 7 years later, Septima plays with a group of girls. One of them says, "Septima, try to catch this." But they throw the ball and it's about to hit the local shopkeeper, Demetrius. Septima uses her magic lamp to stop the ball. The genie of the lamp comes out of it and says, "I am the genie of the lamp and I got 7 wishes. What's your first wish, young lady?" Septima said, "I wish the ball wouldn't hit Demetrius. Because of that, Demetrius is saved." The townsfolk sighed and one of them said, "That was incredible, which makes the townsfolk happy. Demetrius said, and overjoyed, Septima, how can I ever thank you enough? But one of the girls yells, quiet! To quiet the crowd and say, Septima, that's not how the game works, okay? Magic lamps are against the rules, and as punishment, we'll take you to the deadliest waste in the Sahara Desert, the River Styx. Meanwhile, back at Sevenville, Cinderella and Prince Septupling were worried that they might never see Septima again. Cinderella, if your godmother knows a map spot to find her. Septima loves the Sahara Desert but yearns to return home more. She asks Simba and Scion where she belongs. Simba explains where she and Scion found her. Near Sevenville. Septima is surprised about the news. Because of that, she begins her journey. The genie offers to help her, and so she agrees a decade later. After the next 5 wishes, with only 1 wish left. And Septima is 17 years old now. Septima, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi try to steal her again, but it's no use. I don't see our Stepneys anywhere, complains Sophia. Us either, agree the rest. Naomi adds, yes, just a genie with our Stepneys. Then said excitedly, what did I just say? Our Stepneys. I found her. Veronica said, splendid. But Septima uses her 7th and final wish to stop her evil step-aunts. She said, I wish my step-aunts would stop. And her genie said, your wish is my command, and turned Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi into statues. 7 minutes later, a celebration in Seville is to honor Septima's return home. Septima and Prince Septupling hug her and welcome back home. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And Andrew's Doors, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And I hope you enjoyed this bedtime story. And oh boy, I never miss bedtime. Good night, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. Take care. Take care already. Good night. And now, Andrew's Doers, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 19erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 19erella. 19erella had 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie. Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie. They made 19erella do all the chores. 19er winch. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all. Said Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie all together. One day, the king of Non-Cuppingham's messenger arrives and says, hear ye, the king of Non-Cuplingham is going to Frolbog, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Non-Coupling. But 19erella is not welcome. her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They argue who will marry Prince Coupling. Later, Cinderella is so sad to ensure that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Coupling. While her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella, in which responds, "I got lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Coupling." But her fairy godmother says, "I can help with a bit of magic," and waves her magic wand. And because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 19 pumpkins and some 38 mice. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to transform the 19 pumpkins into a handsome coach and the 38 mice into strong horses. Then Cinderella's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a non-couple-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Coupling was wondering who he should marry. Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Nellie said all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Coupling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Coupling was really worried that he might never see Cinderella again, so he traveled all around Coupling to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrived, he knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds her 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Nina to Natalie. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Nina is first. But her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Coupling noticed Cinderella singing. The glass slipper fits! And Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Coupling back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. And I've been admitting I'm making some sequels, Andrew's Doers, of Cinderella. And so, if you want to see some sequels to Cinderella, tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Interdoes Everything. And buy our merchandise at interdoeseverything.com, etc. And take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. And now, Andrew's Doers, Interdoes Everything proudly presents Cinderella 2, 19 Wishes Come True. A sequel to Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. tell you the story, shall we? Once upon two times, 19 Cinderella and Prince Donacumling were happily married. But 19 Cinderella's ugly, mean, wicked stepsister, Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Ellie, are extremely jealous, have lots of tricks up their sleeves, and can do anything to stop them, while thinking about what to do to kill 19 Cinderella, their stepsister, and take her place. The third and fifth, Nellie, Ellie, and Tilly stumble upon the legendary acronym apple tree. Legend has it that the tree is planted when a magical acronym apple. Whoever eats the apples themselves of the first letter each name becoming a word. This gives Nina, Isabella, Nellie, Ellie, Tilly, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie an idea. Meanwhile, Cinderella and Prince Donacumling are getting ready to get pregnant and to have their very first child, but Annette, who is Nellie, Ellie, and Tilly transformed, catches them. Luckily, 19-year-old's fairy godmother knows what to do. She chants the magic words, snappity, snappity, snoo, to cut the net, to set 19-year-old and Prince Donacumling free, killing Nellie, Ellie, and Tilly in the process. Enraged because of that, Nina, Isabella, Emmy, Evie, and Natalie struggled to kill 19-year-old and Prince Donacumling, only for 19-year-old fairy godmother to trap them in a bubble. Later, when the bubble pops, Cinderella, Isabella, Emmy, and Evie fall into a chasm and die. But Natalie survives. Maybe I should reform. Natalie thought to herself sadly. Several days later, 19-year-old and Prince Donacumling have their first child, a boy named Nani. Suddenly, they heard Natalie, 19-year-old's youngest, ugly, mean, wicked stepsister, scream for help. Nani, who may be too young, but he's very brave, and 19-year-old's fairy godmother gives him a knight's armor, sword, and shield, and then whistles to call her pet wing horse Sprocket. And not a minute too soon, Natalie is saved. I'm sorry, I was being ugly, mean, and wicked. I promise I'll be a good stepsister from now on, said Natalie as an apology and as a promise to be a good stepsister from now on. And the king of Donacumling officially declares his grandson Nani, Donacumling's only flying knight. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like it, share, and Andrews Everything. Buy our merchandise at AndrewsEverything.com. Take care. Bye.